And then this thing really kind of was interesting. I don't even know really if I care on this, but it is a story because it was a story. Anwar Richardson from Orange Blood reporting that multiple people told him that redshirt quarterback Arch Manning will not opt in to EA Sports College Football, being told that Arch is focused on playing football on the field. I saw responses, I think, from both of you guys as well. This actually might bring even more attention. To me, it's, maybe it's refreshing. 600 hours or whatever it is, or maybe they want to control the family, the Arch Manning Enterprises. I don't know. What do you both think about this?
I just think it's kind of an odd decision because I don't know how you not being in a video game or being in it affects what you're focusing on the field. I'm going to preface this by saying I love the Mannings. I'm very entertained by them. I think they've got a really cool family. I think they do a lot of real cool things. But also, they are very much in control of everything that they do. Like, there's not a lot of – so to me, this is more about, one, yes, Arch needs to be the starting quarterback before EA Sports in their mind, and I think this is certainly true of them ethically. They want him to be the starting quarterback before EA Sports starts trying to sell their football game with Arch Manning in it and use the Manning name. I think that's a bigger part of it than focusing on the field, because they've also look, when Eli got drafted, people may not remember this, but he did get drafted by the Chargers, and Phillip Rivers got drafted by the Giants, and then they swapped before each other so that the Mannings should have their way because Eli was never going to play for the Chargers. It was stated right off the bat. So they're in control of the Manning enterprise, and doing this might be just not being able to have, controls of all the cars they have in the, in the race, so to speak, financially. That's what I think.
Yeah, it makes no difference to me. I'm still buying the game. I think everybody that was going to buy the game still buying the game. I think Texas fans can get excited about their younger quarterbacks that they'll inevitably be playing with in dynasty mode in like a year from now. So it really changes nothing except for if you were just a big fan that wanted to play with Arch Manning. I'm too old to be a fanboy for a guy who's 17, 18 years old at this point. I mean, I can respect the game. I can root for people. I can do all that. But, like, a decision like this is not going to have much of an effect on me, nor should it on really anybody, because it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. It was only made to be a big deal just simply because it was announced the way that it was he's opted to or whatever the phrasing was there that Paul tripped up. Yeah, opt in or what. He's deciding not to opt in because he wants to focus on football. I think that phrasing is what made everybody go, what? Because you don't need to focus on you're not going to focus any less because you're in a video game. So that was just weird kind of phrasing, I guess. And really, I think Paul's hit the nail on the head. I think it's a business decision by the Manning family more than anything. I feel like he's worth more than $600. Maybe it's a focus thing to some extent. Again, that doesn't really make sense, though, because he doesn't have to play the video game. He doesn't have to pay attention to people there's really no connection to the video game other than you would just be in it like everybody else. So, that's not really something that I think is going to affect the on the field. But who knows what the ultimate decision was? But I do think it probably has something to do with what Paul alluded to, is just the Manning brand and having control over that. But beyond that, have fun with the other quarterbacks and inevitably the fake players that you'll be recruiting here, once you go through a couple season cycle, and you can go from there. But I'm sure there are some people disappointed, not just Texas fans, but this is a guy with a lot of fans, and it's kind of weird for me. I don't quite I understand it, but it's not my element necessarily, because I'm not a Texas fan. But I'm also not like 18, 19, where Arch is like a really big deal, Because, for me, that was LeBron James, okay? That was LeBron James. This is me talking about LeBron, except for more proven. So for those younger folks where Arch is a big deal, and it's clear that he's a big deal based on social media, then I'm sure they're disappointed as well. So that's a bummer for EA, but I don't think it's going to affect video game sales. And I don't think it's going to affect Arch Manning's career one way or the other all that much. All I really have to say about Arch Manning, honestly, is I just look forward to him playing one day. I just want to see the guy play. Like, we've heard so much about his NIL deals and his recruiting ranking and his family and now the video game, and that's not him necessarily putting all that out there. It's just that we've heard all of these different things, and I just want to see the guy play and live up to all this billing and live up to the ranking and live up to the family name and all those types of things. And we got a little bit of a taste of that at times last year, very little taste. And so we'll get whatever we get this year. He's going to be the backup again. And then I guess here in a couple seasons, knock on wood for Quinn Ewer's sake, we'll finally get to see him in action. But that's what I'm looking forward to. Forget the video game. I want to watch him out there on the field.
Well, we saw a glimpse of him in the last game or two, which was nice. And you could see where obviously the young man, he's a lot better athlete than I thought. Because his dad and also Eli were not very quick of foot. But we'll see him. And if not, that means that Quinn Ewers is rolling along. And maybe they'll have some games where they open up like they did even last year, where he has a chance to play even more with now being number 2 on the depth chart.